Alright guys, Semphis here. Just want to make a video about the coaching ban and exploit and bug and stuff like that. So to start off, I want to talk about bugs, exploits in general. So if you look back in the history of Counter-Strike, the most known exploit, bug, whatever you want to call it, was probably the Olaf Muster boost on Overpass. He got boosted up with an auto sniper. He could see over the whole map and just shot everyone. Now, these are the type of bugs I think of when I think of like a bug or an exploit in a game. These are bugs that clearly are game breaking and are going to win you rounds. But the nice thing about these bugs is they're fairly obvious they're happening. If I go and throw a set grenade on Cash through the B window, as a T, and I blow up both the dudes in sight with 100 health, and it's like they're both like, what the fuck? I had full armor, 100 health. How did that nade kill both of us? They can download the demo, look that I'm doing it on purpose, send it to an admin, get it overturned probably. I'm probably going to either have to replay the round, or I'm going to forfeit a couple rounds for doing an exploit. Whatever, different leagues, different places have different rules, right? So with these type of situations, I never think the player should get like banned forever, because everyone's played a game like Dota, for example, the international. You had a Pudge hook with a Chen sending her back to the well, and you bring their best player back to the well, and the person just dies. Like it's pretty broken, but like it's not cheating in my eyes. Like I would never like get killed by something like that and be like, oh man, that fucking guy's cheating. Like I would definitely like report it and hope that it goes my way, but it's like I said, it's pretty obvious that it's happening, and then it's up to the developers and the leagues and kind of people to determine, is that a feature like some people like to call bugs in games, which I think is a lazy excuse to not fix things, or like for a good the best example I can probably think of in Counter-Strike is seeing people through smokes. So at the start of CS:GO, a lot of people might not know this. I didn't know this. You could, for one, you could one-way smokes, which is a lot harder now, but back then it was way easier. But even worse than that is if you played on LAN, if you basically put your crosshair somewhere, so you look, say you're playing B rotator on Inferno, and everyone's going to throw the spawn smoke, coffin smoke, flashes, whatever. They're going to run in the stairs and try to take the site. You can just put your crosshair on the stairs, and while they come running up, you look at your radar, you'll see a red dot appear on the thing, and you just shoot. It didn't work online all the time. Like occasionally you'd see the red dot, but you wouldn't see it 100% of the time. On LAN, you would see it almost every time someone ran through the smoke on your crosshair. For some reason, it would show up. I didn't know this. A couple teams used it. I should honestly go back and watch demos and just find and show. I could easily show you guys like how bullshit it was. But anyways, those are bugs where it's like, do you ban that person for a year, for 2 years, for using that? Like, it's not super obvious, but people definitely used it. I don't personally think those things are ban worthy. Maybe you guys disagree with me. That's fine. I just want to kind of clarify where I'm coming at from bugs and exploits, right? So the nice thing about most of these, the smoke one's a little bit harder, but still you can kind of see that someone is always killing people through smoke and kind of wonder why. The thing about the coaching bug is like you have no idea it's happening. You have zero idea. You just feel like you're a fucking idiot. If you're calling strats, you're just like, hey guys, let's do a B execute. And there's like 4 dudes on B on Mirage, and you're just like, what the fuck? Like, okay, all right, let's take mid control, fall back to A, leave a lurker. Oh my god, there's 5A now, and you're just like, what the fuck? Like, I can't call anything right. They're reading me every move, and you just feel worthless, right? So like those ones, like when a coach is relaying information at that level, that's just cheating in my mind. That's just like legitimately like you're just getting cheated. Like, like that. There's one thing to get a kill through a smoke. There's another thing for 5 dudes to be at your bomb site every time you go there, And I'm not saying that every coach cheated to that extent, but like if the teams were in on it, they should be punished. If the coach didn't tell them, then obviously these things are very hard to prove, obviously. But if the coach didn't tell them, obviously he's just going to be punished on his own. How often the coach uses it? Like if he uses it 1 round ever, then like maybe a 6 months to a year ban is fair. It was 1 round. At the end of the day, me as a player, if someone used it 1 time on me in 2017 or something, I'll forgive him, But if this dude's fucking constantly using it to win qualifiers or games, like, dude, that person, in my opinion, should be banned forever, because that's like just years of cheating or months of cheating. And a good example would be the Iberpower bans. So I actually checked this out, and I could be wrong here because the data that I looked at is real old, and the sites they're not accurate in the sense like the team names are different, rosters are gone, deleted and stuff, so it's hard for me to check. But don't quote me 100% on this, but when iBetPower threw their game in CEVO on season to netcode guides, they didn't really affect anyone else but themselves from losing and the bettors that placed money in the fans, okay? And I'm not condoning this at all. I think 100% they should have been banned. Maybe not forever, because I think indefinite bans are kind of ridiculous, but 100% you got to be punished, right? Like 100%. I don't think anyone disagrees with that, right? So the main thing though about this situation is netcode guides was going to qualify for the playoffs anyways. iBetPower was already going to qualify for anyways. I didn't even realize we were like 14-1 on Cloud9. Fuck yeah, we're the top dogs. Anyways, so they threw that game and they didn't change the placing. It's not like they bumped netcode's guides up and they went down. They stayed the same. Netcode guides stayed the same. Even if they lost, netcode guides would have gone down one and tied another team. Maybe it changed the seeding slightly. I don't think so, but it might have. That's the only thing it would have changed, is seeding slightly. No one else got gypped out of the fucking rotation. It wasn't like, oh, we were going to qualify for the CEVO playoffs, and then all of a sudden they got bumped down because iBetPower didn't win a game they should have won. Okay, so at the end of the day, what they did is 100% wrong. They should be banned. I'm not justifying it all, but I'm just saying the cheating from the coaches and the bug abuse is worse, way worse in my mind. And I don't think a lot of people are like appreciating how bad it really is. And I'm not here to like hating on these people or thinking they're terrible humans, because I know people try to take advantage of a lot of different things in games. I've been in the industry a long time. People are shady. Don't trust anyone. But at the end of the day, I do think justice is deserved for a lot of people that have lost to them. So think of it like this way. So you're playing in a major qualifier, maybe. Okay. Now, maybe your team is slumping at this point. You're like, oh man, like, I don't know, maybe I'm going to get cut if we don't win this, if we don't qualify for the major. Maybe your org is like, maybe we shouldn't have this roster anymore. Maybe like, some weird scenarios happening where like your team is kind of like iffy, they're not meshing really well, but you're practicing really hard, you're doing well in practice, and you're like, okay, we're improving. Then you lose to a team you shouldn't have lost to. And you're like, fuck, man, we practiced so hard. Like, we lost now, your org drops you. And obviously I'm going extreme here. That probably didn't happen. But, like, I'm just saying, you could cost someone his livelihood, his job, his reputation, from losing a game you shouldn't have lost. Like, you obviously lost people money on betting. You could screw up other seeding of the tournament. Now, if you beat Astralis because you use an exploit, now Astralis is playing a team that wouldn't have played them. They would have played the team that beat them, that shouldn't have beat them. There's a cascade of effects that affects so many things. Pro League, a team maybe wins 3 matches with the coach bug that they shouldn't have won, and now the bottom team that would have qualified for the LAN gets dropped down 1 slot, doesn't make the LAN. Like, there's so much more that was affected by the coaching bug than the iBetPower throw, and the iBetPower guys got banned for fucking ever, and these guys are getting like 3, 6 months, year bans. I think it's bullshit. Like, obviously, I think there's a gray area here where it should depend on like how much they used it. Like, like I said, if you used it one time, 2017, should he be punished? Yeah, maybe 6 months, year ban or something. I think most people, I don't know about you guys, like, use it one single time. Is it right? No, but I do think, if you compare it to someone using it at a big tournament or a big LAN or something multiple times, I think that's like way worse, obviously. Like, I do think there's some gray areas for the bans to be like different lengths depending on it. I do think Hunden coming forward and like kind of ratting himself out does deserve some sort of leniency, because like he didn't have to do that. And like, obviously, do I think it should be banned? Yeah, of course. But like I'm saying, like, you were allowed to fuck up. Like people make mistakes in life, and owning up to mistakes is a lot harder than people think. Like, a lot of people wouldn't do what he did, like a lot of people would just hid, hope it never happens, hope they never get caught, like, so in a way I can respect him for coming out like that, but at the end of the day, you got to be punished. Just because you told someone you murdered someone doesn't mean like, oh man, well, he's a good guy, he murdered that guy, but he told us that he did it and he's sorry, so I don't know, bad example probably, but you guys get my point. So you guys tell me what you think. Like this video is basically just saying like I think the ban should be much more extreme. I think people should be looking at all the games that it happened. I think they should all be posted. This coach did it in these games, these 7 games, these 30 games, these 50 games, one game. Like I think we should get all that information, and Valve should be putting out some sort of policy on like what they're gonna do about it. And if you costed a person a spot because you beat them using a bug, maybe some like financial monetary loss for yourself. Like I don't know. Like I'm starting to think that like people should be signing contracts saying they're not going to cheat, and if they do cheat, they owe X amount of money or something. Like I think it's bullshit that like people can just get away with this shit, and it's like obviously like having a job in esports is nice and everything, but like at the end of the day, you're not starving to death because you lost your job as a coach, right? So you can there's not a super negative, whereas like at least if you are a coach and you've signed a contract for pro league or something, and like, okay, if I get caught 100% doing something illegal or cheating or whatever, then I'm gonna have to pay 10 grand or 5 grand as a fine. So I think maybe we should be adding more fines in. I don't know, you guys can tell me what you think. I don't know, this is just top of my head, just kind of thinking out loud. So yeah, anyways, peace out guys, have a good one, and yeah.